Hello, in this video we are looking at how we can avoid care home fees. Many people find themselves in denial as their health starts to deteriorate. Even though they approach old age with mobility issues or memory loss, they delay considering residential care altogether. This means that they don't make any provisions financially in case they do need to access domiciliary or residential care in the future. One option that many people look at is to use equity release to avoid paying care home fees. This allows you to take money out of your home and avoid having to pay care home fees. You cannot simply give your money or assets away to avoid paying care home fees. However, there are some circumstances where it may be possible to give away your assets. This means that they are not included, by your local authority, in any calculation to determine the value of your capital when assessing nursing home costs. Many people do look to put their house into a trust, so they can avoid care fees and pass their home on to their children. However, this is not straightforward, and your local authority may look at whether you put your home in trust solely for the reason to avoid your care costs. Making the right decision at the right time can significantly increase the likelihood of you being able to retain your property, leave an inheritance and keep some disposable income behind for whatever you wish. Therefore, on its own, you cannot sell your house to avoid care fees unless you have some specific financial circumstances or if your family home has already been put in trust. This is why early planning is required. You also cannot put your assets into a trust purely to avoid care home costs. There is a risk that this could be seen as a deprivation of assets. However, simply signing your house over to avoid care costs isn't possible if it is done a few months before you go into care. This would, in all likelihood, be seen as a deprivation of your assets. But, if the transfer is done a few years before you go into care, then it could be possible. There are often very legitimate reasons that you may have for wanting to give someone a gift via a transfer of ownership of your property. The impact of this, years down the line, may be that the value of these assets is not counted when assessing whether you need to meet your care fees. Therefore, it is possible to transfer money and give gifts to avoid care home fees. However, do get financial advice before you make any gifts so that you are aware of any potential consequences. Sometimes, a less risky approach to avoiding care home fees, and just giving the money and wealth away as a gift, is to put your house into a trust instead. However, that said, there may be other very real reasons why you have to put your property into a trust. A consequence of this is that your property may then be excluded from any financial assessment. So, in the right circumstances, it is possible to avoid meeting care fees without it being seen as a deprivation of assets. The good news for individuals requiring care and their families is that there are plenty of funding options on the table, provided the financial aspect of care is considered early enough. The sooner provisions are made, the more flexible options you have. Careful planning can ensure you fund your care in the most efficient way possible and avoid paying any unnecessary costs. An advisor can help you look at your options as well as ensure you claim all of the benefits you are entitled to. Therefore, mitigation rather than avoidance is the key. That is the end of this video, but if you would like to read more you can do so on the Help and Advice website.